Mercurial mercenaries. I thought we'd do something a little bit different today. I thought we could go on a journey through an album that I've heard hundreds of times in my life. But there's a chance, just like I haven't heard albums by Kanye West, and we've been on a bit of a hip-hop crusade recently, there's a chance that you guys haven't heard Jeff Wayne's 1978 magnum opus, pretty much his only opus, but magnum opus, the greatest concept album of all time.
The War of the Worlds.
This album is fantastic. It's a musical version of one of the most famous and one of the first science fiction stories, H.G. Wells' The War of the Worlds. Not wanting to spoil the story here too much right at the very beginning, but if you boil it down to its essence, it's about Martians invading planet Earth. The story's been filmed a few times over the years. My favourite version is the 60s film. There's also a version with Tom Cruise. There was a version, I think, in the 30s with Orson Welles on the radio. But this is the greatest interpretation of the book. Without a doubt, it's a matter of fact. I've owned it on a couple of formats over the years, but I've never owned it on vinyl. So this is my first vinyl experience of War of the Worlds, and you can share it with me. Let's get rid of the cellophane. Somebody told me that rather than use the knife like I have 120 times, I can rub the album against my jeans to take the cellophane off. Now I should have tried this first. I'm not quite sure how. We'll do it. Maybe it's like starting a fire as a Boy Scout, but with more vinyl and less, probably less fire, marshmallows. It worked. Okay, can't be surprised. I don't know if you can see that. I did that a little bit too much, and the reason I stopped then was because my leg was actually burning, and I see I've put a scorch mark on my jeans. Oh God. I have actually burnt my leg. Shh. Only I could do that. Only I could do that. Look, it worked, look. You see that? It worked. And you live and learn. I only took 120 near misses with the knife. But tell me which one's best. Near miss with carving knife or burned leg and burned jeans? You tell me! I think one of the reasons to get this album on vinyl is because the artwork is just beautiful. And as you can see, it does span the exterior cover. But as you can also see, it is gatefold. And we knew the new shmoo. We do now have a gatefold song. So let's start the gatefold song! Wow. Damn! So, for posterity, let's capture these two scenes. So we got the exterior, which is, now I know the story, so I know exactly what this piece of artwork is representing, which scene from the story. But I won't say for the minute, because if you're coming along on this ride for the first time, let's not spoil things. And then on the inside, we have another beautiful piece of artwork. This is nearer to the beginning of the story, so it's not too much of a spoiler to describe it. But this is the craft when it first comes down. And I've got to say, I think I once owned the CD version, and this was probably in there somewhere. But I've certainly never seen it this size. That's what she said. And that's the sort of thing I would like to pin to the wall, but I can't because it's the actual album. Let's see what we've got inside, right? So I'll be different and just look at the sort of the side. There's two records, and this album, bearing in mind it was 1978, so it would have been produced with the vinyl record format in mind. It is split. The story is definitely split across two discs, very separate. And each side is very separate. So Jeff Wayne's thought this one through. It's definitely an A, B, C, D story. But when it comes to record 2, we'll revisit it, but it's just white. Now, record 1. I'm assuming it's also going to be white. Well, just okay, it's white, right? Just we'll put white to one side. Yeah, we'll put white to one side just for a moment, and we'll see what else is in there. Oh yes, I mean, I had a sneaking suspicion, which is why I did this build-up, but I've never seen it before. But I anticipated this being an extravaganza. This is one of the greatest albums of all time. I meant to say that at the beginning. This is one of the greatest albums of all time. This is a complete journey and an experience, and I'm hoping that you'll join me on it. But to go along with one of the greatest albums of all time, we have... Shh. Hang on. Put this to one side there. Oh yes. Now I think... when I had the CD version, I think in the CD booklet was something similar. This might just be a bigger version of the CD booklet. Bear in mind that the CD booklet would have been a smaller version of the... This came first. This, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Which came first, the vinyl or the CD? Quite clearly the vinyl. Jeff Wayne's musical version of War of the Worlds. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh no, I really didn't realise this. The story is written out. This is the script. Now, I don't know if you... Oh, let's just bask in the artwork a second. This is giving it away. We'll bask in this more when the actual story's happening. But this, looking at it at a glance, these are the song names, and this is the script. These aren't credits. These are lyrics. Learn from this, hip-hop artists. Oh, God. Just bask in that. Bask in it. Again, it's giving away the story. Maybe, as someone who's never listened to this album before, maybe you see this. Now, you clicked on this because you think, oh, yeah, this is the guy that does really, like, over-the-top reactions. Experiences, he likes to call them, because he doesn't like the name reactions. Does experiences to hip-hop records. Let's just click on War of the Worlds. What's that? Some old 70s cock rock album, rock art album, concept album. Maybe you're seeing this now and you're thinking, actually, that's wetting my wick. That's wetting my wick. I might join him on this. I might. Oh, if this doesn't moisten your blowpipe, then I don't know what will. Oh, this is actually better than I expected. This is beautiful. I don't even reckon... Oh, well, see, right, I know what song this is from. And for me, this is a point on the album. We're going to get to it when we listen to it. This is a point on the album where it's really sad. And as a kid, I would kind of have a tear in my eye. That's beautiful. This is packaging, my mercenaries. This is packaging. I mean, yeah, the album sleeves, the actual sleeves for the vinyl are still white, but this is packaging. Right, okay, let's not show too much of this now, because we are definitely giving the story away. So we'll revisit this at the end. But here we go. When it comes to credits, right, and I understand from what you guys say, there's a million credits on the... Well, no, I saw them before I put the poster up. But there are a million credits for My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy on the back of that poster. But forget that for a minute. This is credits done well. Look at that! Credits done well. So, let me just talk a little bit about this album, all right? For me, right, so H.G. Wells wrote a book in the 1800s called War of the Worlds. It's about the Martians attacking the Earth, right? It's about aliens from Mars attacking the Earth. And this is a rock concept album done in the 70s. And for me, there are a few voices out there, voices now I'm talking, that are, for me, the greatest, most distinctive. When someone talks, and within one syllable, you know who it is. And in the music world, I also apply this to singers. I hear 1 second of Freddie Mercury or Axl Rose or John Lennon, and I know who they are. They're distinct. And that is different from great singers, right? You get great singers on X Factor and American Idol, Pop Idol, The Voice. Yeah, they're beautiful. They can sing. And you listen, oh, wow, he can sing. He can sing. No, there's something different about someone who can sing, but you listen to them and you know immediately. It's Bob Dylan. It's Johnny Rotten. Can they sing? Yes! Yes, they can sing. And to me, there's distinct voices that have existed. Number 1, Vincent Price. Vincent Price, definitely. You got Ray Milland, Patrick McGowan, and up there, in that kind of top 4, top 5, there's Richard Burton. And Richard Burton narrates this album. You have musicians at the top of their game doing a musical version of one of the greatest stories of all time, narrated by one of the, if not the greatest voice of all time, Richard Burton. And also on this album, as the credits here tell you, there's a few musicians who were big in the 70s, and amongst them are amazing. I don't want to spoil too much here, but I've got to entice some of you to actually listen along with me. David Essex, his best ever performance on this album. Phil Lynott. How do you pronounce Phil Lynnott's name? I'm going to go with Phil Lynott. A Thin Lizzy. It's a performance. I like it. I think when people, I've always thought it was a bit over the top, Phil Lynnott's performance on this album. However, I now understand, having done like 120 of these videos, that there is something to be said for being a little bit dramatic, because you're trying to entice people in, and Phil Lynott entices like you just walked into a very, very sticky Irish rock web. You just can't get your feet out of it. Yes! And Justin Hayward has an extremely fine moment on here. So all in all, this is going to be an experience. And I'm going to do an experience of an experience. And I want you guys to join me. I want you guys to join me in the next video when we actually listen to the album. What do you say? We will start with record 1, side A. Just have a look at the vinyl, see what colour it is. It's black. The chances of anything coming from Mars are 1,000,000 to 1, he said. The chances of anything coming from Mars are 1,000,000 to 1. Let's have a look at this. 33 1/3 revolutions per minute. In stereo. The coming of the Martians. This is the beginning of the story. We're going to start with the eve of war. Scratched into the vinyl, it says Baza Alchemy. Can you see that? See that at all there? Feels nice, feels weighty. There are no My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy-esque dents to the vinyl. I'll see you soon.